Esteemed friends, ladies and gentlemen of distinction, welcome to this discourse on the intricate tapestry of our digital era that is aptly captured by the metaphor of a tangled web. In this era of rapid technological advancement, we find ourselves entwined in challenges, yet surrounded by boundless opportunities. Today, I invite you to join me as we delve into the heart of this web, a web that weaves together the challenges and the opportunities shaping the future of our Caribbean. There is virtually no discussion on any topic related to any dimension of international, regional, national, community, or self-development that does not at some point reference the pervasive influence of the information and communication technologies, ICT. And invariably, this reference points to the disruptive and the transformational capability that is changing the DNA of our lives. Imagine, if you will, the tangled web's threads as pathways to different futures, from the search for justice, equity, and fairness, to the disparities in technology access and the persistent specter of cybersecurity threats, the diminishing competitiveness of our markets, and the existential climate threats. Our region is at a philosophical crossroads. This is our map, one that is demanding our attention, analysis, and decisive action. Allow me to scan this landscape to see some of the big trends. Electronic commerce, overturning physical retail with transformative impact, particularly on MSMEs. Global innovation and competition, driving product improvements. We see new types of usage and monetization, especially in areas of digital video, voice, wearables, on-demand and local services, even in traditional underserved markets. As of October 2023, it was estimated that 65.7% of the global population has accessed the internet. The ITU puts this figure at 67%, or 5.4 billion people, representing a 45% increase since 2018, with 1.7 billion new users coming online in this period. The leading countries for internet use are China, 1.05 billion, India, 836 million, and the United States, 311 million. By 2025, projections indicate that global internet users could reach 6.54 billion. And now the rise of artificial intelligence, and with it, the radical redrawing of the possibilities of our future. However, as always, within chaos lies potential. The Caribbean is not merely caught in a web. It is intricately woven in a canvas of possibilities, economic, social, and technological prospects waiting to be harnessed. Digital data is the new currency. Big data is the new oil and a priceless commodity. Data analytics is driving everything. And artificial intelligence and machine learning are producing context-relevant, personalized, and anticipatory messaging. What is the Caribbean reality? For the Caribbean, social and economic development are now inextricably linked to issues of internet access, affordability, quality, and resilience. Over the past decade, governments and private sector have invested significantly in information and communications technology with the promise of, among other things, improving efficiencies, facilitating transparency and accountability, increasing competitiveness, extending markets, and expanding opportunity. However, technology investments do not take place in a vacuum. For the Caribbean, the promise of technology is often compromised by forces intent on maintaining the familiarity, the control, and the power that lies in the status quo. Whether these forces are within or without, their impact upon the region's development trajectory is undeniable, but not irresistible. In this presentation, The Tangled Web, I would like to introduce for consideration the unique challenges faced by small developing nations, the unique cultural cauldron that shapes the Caribbean mindset, and the opportunities before us to shape the Caribbean society and mindset relevant to our future. There is a web of issues surrounding the Caribbean digital transformation agenda that needs to be deconstructed. Unlike our traditional economic sectors, our digital environments are built almost entirely upon foreign inputs. We don't build microprocessors, we don't build fiber optic cables, servers, or access devices. We are seldom present or vocal in the fora where global digital policies or standards are being defined. We are extremely vulnerable to external forces, and our history has been one of reliance on and prioritization, unfortunately, of foreign importation versus local innovation. The astounding thing is that the challenge we face is not just about technology. It is about something deeper and more existential. It is about mindset and our capacity or incapacity to grasp the future. Mindset determines our positioning in relation to innovation, and it is mindset that establishes whether we ride the technological wave to the future or whether we become discarded relics of obsolescence. The mindset challenge is not only on our end, although we have a responsibility to ourselves to change that. But Bob Marley reminded us, none but ourselves can free our minds. Mindset fossilization also exists within the ICT industry itself. Cycles of innovation are accelerating the obsolescence of relatively recent products and services. This creates a huge challenge for legacy providers on how to manage their business models so that they can optimize their investment but maintain technological relevance. And nowhere is this better illustrated in this region than in the telecom sector. How do we untangle the web? 1. Collaborative governance, orchestrating a symphony of unity. The European Union's collaborative approach to digital governance has positioned it as a global leader in data protection and innovation. Drawing on this inspiration, Caribbean leaders must forge collaborative governance models that transcend local silos. Let our approach be a harmonious blend of political acumen, judicial insight, and business agility, playing in unison to address challenges and capitalize on opportunities. It is important to note that in the European Union, GDP grew by 3.7% in 2022, attributed in part to its collaborative approach to digital governance. Secondly, innovative vision, infusing agility into policy and justice. Business leaders have long understood that innovation is the heartbeat of progress. It is time to infuse this innovative vision into policy and into the delivery of justice. In all the pillars of government, the justice sector is undoubtedly one of the most bound by tradition. Current bottlenecks across all of the region in the administration of justice are clear signals of the undeniable necessity of its structural and process transformation. If we are to avoid the downward spiral of the delay of justice becoming the denial of justice, this sector must learn from the agility of successful businesses fostering a culture where adaptation and foresight thrive. And there is evidence of this being initiated. We must commend the Caribbean Court of Justice on the initiative displayed since 2016 in establishing the Caribbean Agency for Justice Solutions. That is living testimony to the technological ingenuity and the creative capacity of our own Caribbean talent. CAJS has since developed a suite of applications that constitute a digital ecosystem for the efficient and cost-reducing administration of justice. In fact, only a few weeks ago, on the 11th of November this year, CAJS announced a breakthrough in the application of artificial intelligence to the justice system of the Caribbean. The third thing is education as empowerment, illuminating the way forward. The lyrics of the Mighty Sparrow resonate in the call for an educated populace. Education is the torchbearer, empowering individuals to navigate the complexities of the digital age. A study by UNESCO revealed that countries with higher education indices experience greater economic development. As leaders, we must prioritize education as a transformative force. Invest in digital literacy programs, ensuring that every citizen possesses the skills to engage meaningfully in the digital landscape. Now, while it is generally accepted that education is a key factor in facilitating economic development, we should not overlook the nuances of how this happens, especially in an era like ours, in which technological innovation and the growth of knowledge are exponential. It is imperative that the transformation of education embrace critical elements such as the reinvention of pedagogy, the teaching and learning methods, rethinking content, and assessment. Fourth is regional unity, transforming slogans into strategies. Sentiment around Caribbean approaches must transcend slogans and cliches and become the strategic force weaving the threads of our tangled web. While there are many challenges inherent in small size, the flip side is that SIDS, by virtue of the same limitations of size and scale, can also be ideal petri dishes for innovation that can be prototyped and scaled up to global application. Importantly, technological innovation enables us to shape solutions that reduce the cost and size of government, that provide direct services to and empower the population, and create a level playing field for competitive engagement in the global economy. The examples and the opportunities in this arena are too numerous to mention, but allow me to titillate you with a few. With a total population of only 1.6 million, imagine the possibilities for a data ecosystem built on a geospatial platform that is powered by artificial intelligence in the OECS. Think about the quality of public policy, private investment, community enhancement, and even personal decision making that can be developed through those tools. The seeds for this are being planted through the OECS World Bank funded Data for Decision Making project. As you are aware, or may be aware, that the top level domain for Anguilla is .ai. Are you tracking the huge economic windfall that this represents for Anguilla in the metaverse? And the slide here indicates just the beginning of that value. Envisage a regional ecosystem that enables all relevant government and private sector entities involved in trade to manage the free circulation of goods and services efficiently and transparently. The building bricks of this already exist in the Asicuda platform used in most OECS member states. Consider the many opportunities for empowering citizens through mobile apps that give power to their voice and enable responses to their concerns. A mobile app that makes every consumer the guardian of their rights by reporting every violation of these rights. For example, price control on essential food items. A mobile app that enables instant polling on issues with instantaneous results for rapid decision making, already in use in the OECS through the UNICEF-provided U-Report program. Regional collaboration can and has facilitated economic partnerships and harmonized policies in many areas, but there is much more still to be done. Our goal is to let regional unity be more than rhetoric. Let it be the transformative force that propels us towards shared prosperity. Let me end by pulling all of this in a global geopolitical context. Because as small states, we are the small boats tossed on tumultuous seas with contending currents. There's a fascinating paradigm-shifting TED Talk by Ian Bremmer entitled "The Next Global Superpower Isn't Who You Think." And I highly recommend that you view this TED Talk. Bremmer essentially argues that we grew up in a world that was initially bipolar and dominated by the Cold War contestation. Then with the end of the Cold War, the United States assumed hegemonic leadership in a unipolar world. Then in the last 15 years, we have seen the emergence of a multipolar world that is increasingly becoming diversified in its leadership. His prediction is that we are now heading for a world that will be nothing like what we have known before, and dominated by three orders, global orders: a global security system, think NATO and the military alliances around the world, a global economic order, and significantly, a digital order. The next global superpower, as he wants, isn't who you think. It will inevitably be digital. We may well be heading towards a technopolar order, a world dominated not by geographic potentiates or by states, but by megatech unicorns. Think about that. And with this disruptive thought, I thank you for your indulgence.